All right, I want to begin here by thanking our fans for their support of DJ in his pursuit of mental health, overall health. The wide, vast majority of our fans, I know, are so unbelievably supportive of him in that, and I want to just thank our fan base for that. For the rare few that tweeted at me, this is somehow a reflection on our program, reflection on me personally, guilty. So be it. You can take your antiquated thinking somewhere else. There is nothing more important in our program than our players' physical, mental health, and overall growth. Nothing. And that will always be the case. There's not a game, there's nothing. And if it's somehow a reflection, I think we all know that's wrong. I really appreciate the overall kind of overwhelming support for a young man in his pursuit of this, and I know he does too. Our staff here, our medical staff, this university is comprehensive in its care of our players, physical and mental. Comprehensive. I've never seen anything like it. I think we're on the cutting edge in a lot of ways in terms of our staffing, our willingness to deal with our players' issues. And it's a day and age where we see this more and more, particularly in this age group and particularly with student athletes. As far as the game today, got great respect for the team we played, how hard they play, how well they're coached. And it was a great win for our guys. Players win games. I thought we had great leadership, in particular between Caleb and CJ Walker on both ends. Great win for our group. Questions?
Well, what did it take for your team to mentally handle what it goes through when DJ leaves on Thursday and you got to play a game here on Saturday? What did it take for your team to mentally handle those challenges in the last 48 hours and find a way to win?
You know, I think, Adam, if it was more sudden in the sense of, it was sudden, but I think if players are, it's a pretty intimate, team's a pretty intimate setting, right? So you know, in most cases, what guys are going through. And DJ's been very vulnerable with his teammates and sharing his concerns for a while now, or sharing the things he's working through for a while now. So I don't know, while his departure was sudden, I don't know that it came as a great surprise. He shared with the team on Thursday, thought he was very honest with them. They embraced him both literally and figuratively, and we did as a group, and we moved on to practice on Thursday.
I know this is obviously an indefinite situation. What are your plans as far as communication and like, I guess, going forward? How do you approach this with him and make sure that he's getting what he needs and that you guys have a line of communication?
It's uncharted territory, so I'll keep some of those. I'll be led and guided by our medical staff on that, and by Gene Smith. Fortunately, I've got an AD that he was my first call, and he's as understanding, and I know DJ and his family appreciate that too. He is so willing. How can we help this young man? That was Gene Smith's first response. How can we help this young man? And that's been his case all year.
Kind of to shift things to today's game, you guys played a pretty quality game offensively. Only 10 turnovers. I think the first time you guys played was, I think you guys had 16 turnovers. What did you see just like on first look from your team today?
Yeah, a little better paint decisions overall. I thought we just had a little better paint decisions. We struggled early with some post-feed turnovers. That's been a bugaboo for us throughout the year. But just some better overall paint decisions, which created a high assist number.
So is it just, when it comes to like post-entry stuff, because that's probably basketball now.
Yeah.
How do you
work on it every day? You're exactly right. It's hard. Kids don't do it anymore. It's very rare that the guys are throwing to the post. What are they doing? Dribble, creating now, playing off ball screens. So we just got to work on it every day. It's literally something we got to work on every day.
Your opening statement noted that it's been overwhelmingly supportive, yet I would assume you wouldn't have addressed the other side of that if it wasn't more significant than one or two random knuckleheads?
I just think, listen, criticize our program, me, for whatever X and O you want to. You're entitled to that. I think this is idiotic thinking. It's my opinion. I think, or listen, if that's your thinking, that's fine. We're guilty of it. We're going to support this kid. We believe that's the best thing to do. Makes me angry.
DJ alluded in his statement that it's been something he's battled going back through high school. What I'm getting at is people would be surprised to hear that a elite athlete, you have an opportunity to speak to the commonality of this among high achievers.
Yeah.
It might be a message you want to.
Oh, I think it's.
I mean, he's a freshman, he's playing. Like, if
Right.
this were a kid at the end of the bench that wasn't playing, I think people would be like, yeah.
Sure, and I think the fact that he had played so well in recent stretches perhaps made people wonder, why now? Listen, he's a 19-year-old young man going through all the things that come with being a highly recruited young man and expectations, and also the normal struggles that you and I have who are not in our players' position. The day-to-day struggles that we go through are real, all right? These things are real. And listen, I've seen it. I think what has helped me in some ways, maybe in terms of being more compassionate, is, and I don't want to get into specifics here, but I've seen it firsthand with a close friend and someone I work with. I've seen it. It's real. And I think it's helped inform some of my decisions when it comes to our players.
Ask you about basketball again. Justin, last year when you put him in, had that game against Iowa, and I think when that happened, everyone just got excited about it and said, all right, here we go, this is going to happen all the time. Obviously,
Yeah.
it wasn't realistic.
Right.
What you've gotten from him the last two games seems like it is more repeatable.
Yeah.
He's doing more things off the ball, obviously
Yeah.
he's shooting it well. Just what have you seen from him the last two games? And do you agree with that assessment that he is maybe starting to look like a guy who can give you a good 14, 15 minutes on the bench if he has?
I do. He's in the last 4 weeks, Bill, healthy. He really is getting healthier. And that's been so key. He's not felt healthy really through December. We saw it in practice. He's added weight. He's getting healthier. He's playing. He's practicing better. He's been on the scout team the last 3 weeks and been able to come in and still play 15 minutes a game and understand how we're doing things. I do think that there can be the biggest thing for him is, I've said this, his attention to detail defensively, which he struggled with it as a freshman. He's not going to go out there and be a better athlete than most of the people he plays against position-wise. So he's going to have great attention to detail. He's going to have to really compete and fight. He's done that, and he's a terrific shooter. I mean, he really is. And I think his cutting has helped us too.
And we've talked with you a lot about finding ways to get the ball inside of defense without just throwing it to Caleb.
Yeah.
It seems like the last maybe 3 or 4 games, you have had a lot of guys more intentional about that, better about that, whatever the results of it might be. You're getting the ball there with more guys. It seems like, I don't know if you agree with that or not, or it just.
I think we are. We're trying to be more intentional about it because I think we've got a good enough shooting team that I think Dwayne still took some quick ones, some bad ones without probing the paint today. I thought Luther took 1 or 2, but for the most part, I thought we did a good job of being more intentional about that. Not just through Caleb.
Chris, when you're preparing for a game and maybe you thought you'd have DJ at the beginning of the week, what was it like preparing for this game, having 6 days of prep, and then maybe you have to change some of your approach there midweek? Yeah,
we just had to change, make a shift on Thursday with some of our lineups and what our rotation was going to look like. And you had to scramble a little bit, but it wasn't too dramatic.
And when you have a guy like CJ, where him and DJ had obviously been your primary point guards, and now you just have CJ for the foreseeable future, what does that do for a guy like CJ, knowing that he's the guy, and he's not necessarily splitting time with someone? Does that change something in the mindset of a point guard?
Maybe you'd have to ask him. Maybe it relaxes him in some ways. Those guys really played well together.
Mm-hmm.
They really did play well together. But maybe it, he would have had to really do something dramatic for me to take him out for a while tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna probe a little bit more on CJ. 35 minutes, maybe the most he's played in his entire college career. Just, I don't know, your thought of a guy who saw a challenge, was put in a spot and took a little advantage of it, it looks like.
He's a great kid. I mean, he just is a great kid. I think that speaks to who, you know, character, team character, collective character, maturity is so important. And I think in league play in January, February, and March, he's got it. You know, he's got it. He's got to continue to make improvements, but I think he's got that stuff that you need.
And Caleb, he accepted a challenge here too.
Yeah.
Again, second time he's gone against their three big guys and outplayed, you know, all three of them. It seems like just, I think he had an offensive rebound in the second half and wasn't sure what to do with it. I think I may have heard you on the sideline yell at him to put it back up or something or the other. And he,
I'd probably say go to work.
yeah, and he put it back up and made it, and
Yeah.
maybe even drawn a foul on that play.
Yeah.
But just what he did today kind of put the team on his back there in the paint.
He's just got to keep working. He's got to keep working. I thought Caleb was terrific today. I thought he was terrific on both ends. He had the one foolish foul in the second half, but I thought Caleb was terrific on both ends. And it's his work. He's got to continue to stay in great shape. I thought he created some real opportunities for other guys. I thought he protected the rim pretty well. Caleb is really, he's a competitive kid, so you can sit down and challenge him and show him what happened in game one. I thought he really played well against Otura the second game. I thought he made him make some incredibly tough shots. We just didn't finish.
Going back to CJ, as you said, 35 minutes. Is that a product of, hey, we just had a couple days? Is that what you're going to need from him while DJ's out, or do other guys need to kind of handle that?
Yeah, I think it'll vary. I mean, Dwayne will need to play. Danny Hummer as well. Some potentially, obviously, if there's foul issues. But yeah, I think we're going to need his minutes to be increased for sure.
Then when he's not in the game, I think Dwayne was your point guard today when he wasn't in there. What's your level of confidence with him running the show right now?
He's a really good ball handler. He picks up things so he can know the actions we're trying to run, the sets we're trying to run. Those are not issues. He's becoming a little bit better passer at finding things. He doesn't turn it over a lot now. He also doesn't have a lot of assists, but he doesn't turn it over a lot. He's a little bit of a bigger guard, so he provides different, better size for us. He's just got to continue to work on his defensive game and his offensive efficiency. He just does.
I want to ask one more about DJ. He's 19 years old, and you say this is uncharted territory for you. I'm assuming, like in the past, you might have had other players going through some sort of struggles, and they didn't make this decision. Was it something about someone of his age that they're willing to make this decision?
I think it's brave on his part, and it's what needed to happen. There's nothing more important. So I thought it was a brave move on his part and fully supported by us. And I'm sure there'll be others in the future.
We talked to you earlier this week. You stressed how good this team was, Indiana, at rebounding and physicality.
Yeah.
One offensive rebound in the first 33 minutes.
Yeah.
What does that say to you?
Thought we were good on that, and I thought we were good on the glass. I thought we competed there. That was a major emphasis for us coming in because their free throw rate's really high in the league, and their free throw or their rebounding. So it was a point of emphasis. Guys did a great job.
And Chris, how big a lift could this be for you, being a man down now 2 in a row?
Yeah. You know, Clay, I don't think you ever make too much of one game or 2 games or a stretch. And listen, I say that in winning stretches. I say that in losing stretches. So don't think I'm just saying it. I just think it's reality. This league is brutal. I'm sure there'll be some upsets, quote unquote upsets. A team loses, ranked team loses on the road. And shocking upset. Give me a break. So it's life in this league. We just got to keep getting better.
Chris, your offense today seemed to shoot with a little more confidence. You guys, I think what you mentioned that you guys pulled the trigger a little early. Are you more apt to be okay with that when you know these guys are shooting confidently in a game? Because there for a while you guys weren't shooting very confidently.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the right guy shooting. I don't want Justin shooting it early. You know, demonstrated performance is what affects your confidence one way or the other. So guys just gotta get in the gym, they gotta earn it, and yeah, I liked how they were shooting it.
And you guys gave up 90 on the road at Penn State, now in 3 straight games, even though loss was 62, 59, and then 59 again.
Yeah.
What have you seen from your defense that's starting to improve and turn a corner?
Yeah, you know, I don't look at points as much as I do efficiency, and we're okay. We're not where we need to be yet. Believe, you know, this will probably shock all of people who really watch us. They think they've got it figured out. Offensively, our numbers are very good. Offensive efficiency, defensively is where we have to take some steps forwards.
Where do you see it those?
Not enough. Not enough.
You have alluded to this conference and how difficult it is. You're going on the road for 2 in a row.
Yeah.
The last time you went on the road for 2 in a row, Maryland and Indiana, didn't
Yeah.
go well. Your thoughts? I mean, 2 games from 500, it could be a very productive week, but it's also a big challenge.
I'm thinking about tomorrow, Bruce. So I know we got 2 games, and we have to play better on the road. I did think we played better at Northwestern on the road. Now you can say Northwestern. Look at Northwestern scores. They played competitive in a lot of games. It's just about we got to continue playing a little tougher, not a little tougher, a lot tougher, harder, and got to be a little smarter in some areas. I think, I'm not even sure. I know what our next one is. I'm not sure. I think I know our one after that. They're 2 really good teams, so we're gonna have to play really well.
Coach, when Commissioner Warren visited Indiana, it was earlier this week or last weekend, he talked a lot about mental health and wellness and stuff like that. I mean, what are these conversations between coaches, administrators, league administrators, and stuff like that, in terms of putting players in the right situation?
Well, listen, I've got definitely what I think is the most supportive, knowledgeable, experienced, and best AD in the country. So he the guy that I lean on to get my advice when it comes to this is very keyed into this in Gene Smith. And he's really put things in place here to make sure our guys are aware that they have the support that they need. And I know that also comes from our league office. I've not had direct conversations, but I know that comes from them.
And just in terms of what you see maybe in past years as opposed to you know, few years ago, 5-10 years ago, I mean, in terms of trying to eliminate that stigma around athletes, especially high-profile athletes, what are the conversations you have with your team and making sure that they're comfortable stepping up when they need the help?
We talk about it. I mean, I see a therapist. We talk about it. The only reason I see a therapist is because some of you in this room, but I see a therapist. We talk about it. It's real life stuff. It's real life stuff, and I think that's the only way to eliminate any type of stigma. That's it. That's it. It's real life stuff, and we're about the real life stuff with our players.
You had 19 assists on 26 baskets today. Indiana was just looking like they were moving like crazy just to catch up. Has the big difference been with Caleb not maybe being the focal point and giving him more time to create in other ways?
Yeah, we've always talked about balance, needing balance. You know, I said that last year about this time. You know, the 5 men are too good in this league. The defenses are too good. The length and size is too good to just think you can play smash mouth for 40 minutes. It's just, do we all know that by now? I think we do. So we need some more diversity. I think we had that, and that was good to see. And that includes Caleb's diversity.
Sometimes there's no perfect way to ask a question, so I'll say that up front. I know expectation is the wrong word, and I know your answer to when will DJ be back is when DJ's ready to come back. But is there anything you can say in between those two kind of concepts for people to frame a realistic, I mean, is this unlikely to see him again this year? Is there anything you can say to a time frame without putting pressure on him?
I can't comment on it because I think it's too early in the process. I can't, you know, I wouldn't feel comfortable commenting on that.
Okay. What you said in your opening and some of the other things you said today, this feels like to me like maybe the most emphatic and sort of out there you've been kind of protecting your guys, I guess, or protecting your program. And it's not to say that you haven't always felt that way, because I think it's clear that you do. I'm just wondering, maybe, I think it's obvious why you feel that way now, but in the world we live in, people tend to take one thing and run with it, and have a million different theories, and I'm sure there are assumptions out there that you have about a fractured program or something like that. I would just feel the need to come out and set the record straight on that. Is that what part of it is?
I think it's that as much as just to, one, thank our fans that have been genuinely, those that support us have been genuinely understanding. And then just, I think, I can't be more emphatic about that thinking and how damaging that can be. And damaging to players, damaging to coaches. We're always gonna be about the player. You know, it's bottom line. We're always gonna be about the player. So that's our responsibility. All right, thanks, guys.